Today we are privileged to be joined by 13-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion and Jiu-Jitsu legend, Marcus Almeida. Welcome to the show, Marcus. It's great to have you here with us.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. The pleasure is all ours, Marcus, actually, that you're gracing us with your esteemed presence. Can you tell us where you are based currently?
Right now I'm in Huntington Beach, California.
Okay, and how has the pandemic been for you for the past few months, ever since it became a reality and a way of life? Have you been in America throughout, or you've been in Brazil? Like, take us through the last few months in your life.
Yeah, was really weird. The gyms wasn't working for like really well because the pandemic, so it was really hard to train. So I was spending a lot of time in Brazil with my family because I live by myself in America. So, but then I came back, gyms start opening again. So then I can train even better. So that then I came back to USA. But it's been weird, crazy times.
Has certainly been crazy times. It's been that reality, but now you have last competed last September at the ADCC World Championships, where you claimed a silver. At the time, did you know that that will be your last jiu-jitsu tournament, or was that on your agenda at that moment?
Sorry, can you say again?
You last competed in September at the ADCC World Championships. You won a silver medal over there. Now, at that time, did you know that that would be your last jiu-jitsu match?
No, not really. My focus always was like with the gi. So last year I won my division in the open weight, and the ADCC is something that happens 2 in 2 years. I didn't want to skip it, but I wasn't training really how I should be training because I have like an injury, but I didn't want to skip. And I wasn't thinking about that, about like being my last competition, but things just happening and I decided to do the transition, but I wasn't really thinking about that.
Now you decided to do the transition. It is something that you have.
Sorry.
Marcus, are you there?
Marcus Almeida.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Marcus. It's great to have you here with us.
Yeah. Yeah, Marcus, you've moved to mixed martial arts. You have been saying that you want to do this since 2015. Now, what was it that clicked in your mind and made you take the decision in 2020?
Oh yeah, like, but I never said I retired from jiu-jitsu, so it's not something that I said, okay, it's my last competition. So of course, jiu-jitsu is what I've been doing my whole life. So I'm not done. If I want to compete, I will compete. But right now, I want to focus on my debut on MMA at one championship. And during the pandemic, I was planning to do my last one this year, my last world championship, and it got canceled because of the pandemic. So during this time, I was thinking about, and like, I asked myself, how many more like should I win before I stop? So I got 13 world titles, and I always want to do like something that nobody ever done, and I did it in my sport. So I am the only one to do that, to got like that many titles, and I got like a couple, 2 ADCC too. So I told myself like, okay, I don't need to prove anything else. Like I did what I want to do. Now it's time for a new challenge. And okay, it's time. So now I want to do the transition. Then I start training boxing, I start training the standing, my striking. I start liking a lot. So you know what? It's time. Then it just click like that, and we're here now.
So Roger Gracie's record was one of the things that you wanted to break. Is that what kept you in the sport even after 2015, where you said you would look to transition?
Sorry, can you say again?
Roger Gracie's record of 10 jiu-jitsu titles, was that something that you wanted to break before moving to mixed martial arts?
No, because actually I broke that record in like 2017.
Okay.
So it wasn't something that I was going after.
Okay.
So I beat his record like 2017. So it was a couple of years ago, and I was just trying to get better, break my own record. So I wasn't about to break anyone's record because I did it. And 2018, I got my 11th world title, and 19, I got two more. So then I got 13. So in 2017, I stopped the chase already. Of course, it wasn't like a chase, but it was something that happened naturally.
Okay.
But I wasn't going. It was in the back of my head, but I never was my goal to beat somebody's record. So I worry about my own record, not somebody's. Like, the only thing that I was trying to get better was myself, not somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yes, of course, Marcus. Self-betterment is always a driving force in every athlete's career. And you're heading to mixed martial arts, which would obviously bode well for your new journey. You've made quite the impression when you signed with One Championship. What is the thing that excites you the most about competing for your new promotion?
Yeah, like I met Chatri last year, and my first jiu-jitsu instructor, my first jiu-jitsu professor, Takeshi Shizato, is one of the jiu-jitsu instructors there at Involve. So I had the opportunity to go there and meet Chatri, meet everyone, see how the athletes are treated there, like martial artists. And that was something that I really liked, and I saw like, oh man, that's one organization that I would love to be part of, to be respected as like a martial artist. But that's what I am.
Yeah,
that's my whole life. And then when I decided to do the transition, One Championship was always the place that I would to be part of, to do my debut there. And I spoke to my manager, Ali, and man, he's like the best in the business, and he made it happen just like that, fast, and it's been great. So now I'm just really excited to do my debut and training for that. So just can't wait.
Ali is certainly a great guy. He helped your friend Cosmo Alexandre out in his situation with One Championship. Now, have you spoken to Cosmo about One Championship as well, or is this been your decision as a whole?
No, I mean, I have a lot of friends that fight there, a couple of friends, and everybody always, like, all the fighters that fight for One, they love so much. They say how good it is to be part of the show. And of course, I knew already before anyone's opinion, so I decided that with myself. But all my friends, they always say good things about the organization. So, and
you wanted to be a part of it because your friends have said good things, yes?
Not just because of them, no, because I want to be part of that, because I met them and I saw with my own eyes when I went to Singapore with Evolve, and I always was like a big fan of the organization of the show. So that's why I want to be part of. But you ask if my friends said good things, yeah, they said that too as well, but wasn't because of their opinion that I decided.
Okay. Yes, of course. Will you be linking with your former coach when you move to Singapore? Is that something that is... Will you be linking with your coach at Evolve MMA when you move to Singapore, or will you be with your new team?
No, like I'll be training, but of course, some part of my camp I'll do in Singapore at Evolve, because I wanna like train a lot MMA and Muay Thai, of course, there, because they get like a great champions there and great coaches. So one part of my preparation will be there, one part of the camp, but not the whole camp. But of course, I'll be spending some time there, but not moving.
One of your rivals, Rodolfo Vieira, made the journey from jiu-jitsu to mixed martial arts. Now, he was at light heavyweight and he moved down the divisions to middleweight. Has that something that has crossed your mind, or will you be competing exclusively at heavyweight?
I never was a big fan of cutting weight, so I don't really want to do it. but I don't know how it's gonna be, especially because I won. The rules of cutting weight are a little bit different than the other organizations, so I think that's not would be a good idea for me. But who knows? But by now, I'm just my focus will be to compete at heavyweight because it's gonna be my natural weight. I don't have to cut any weight, so I think that's gonna be the best for me.
But wouldn't you be one of the lighter people in the heavyweight division? Has that thought crossed your mind? Would that be a disadvantage for you?
What?
You will be one of the lighter guys in the heavyweight division. Has that crossed your mind ever?
Man, I'm 113 kilos, so I don't know if I will be one of the lightest. You know, I have to cut some weight, but
okay.
Yeah, the division is like up to 120, right?
Yes.
So I'm right a little bit like between 100 and 120. So
it should fit in perfectly. It should fit in perfect. It should fit in perfectly into your plans to compete at heavyweight.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If I would be, of course, with 100 kilos, then it would make sense to fight at 100. But to lose 13 kilos like that for in 7 months, that's too much.
Not too much. Too much.
Yeah, exactly. So, especially because we can do the hydration. So
now you will be competing at heavyweight, and the current one championship heavyweight champion, Brandon Vera, has said that he welcomes you and he feels that his grappling skills are at a level where he can hang in there with you. What do you have to say about that?
Man, of course, Brandon Vera is a great champion, and I used to I follow his journey since the other organizations, and he's a great guy. And for sure, he's not one of the guys that I'm looking forward to fight right now because, man, I always want to learn how to walk before I run.
Of course.
So I have like a long journey before I thinking about to fight him or like to fight for the belts. But of course, because I'm starting a new sport, of course I'm gonna give my best. I want to give my 100%. But always in my career, I always thinking about one step. Then after one step at a time. So when I was blue belt, I want to be a blue belt world champion, not black belt world champion. Then purple belt. So that's how I think right now in MMA. So I don't want to think about. Of course, he's a great guy, man. I always love to watch him fighting and the other heavyweights too. But right now, I just focus on my debut. Of course, after my debut, is gonna be my focus on the second fight. But man, he is a great champion. You know, it's great to hear like good things from these guys, from this champion. So I'm really excited.
It is certainly great to hear good things about you, but do you take this as a sense of achievement, or do you feel that it is a lot of pressure on your shoulders even before you make your debut?
No, of course, definitely is a lot of pressure, but no, I don't feel like that right now because it's something new in my life. It's something I always said for me, a fighter should be able to fight with the gi, should be able to fight no gi, and you gotta test yourself at MMA. So I always said that during my whole career, and I think it's time to test myself at MMA. So in MMA, I mean, and I'm just really excited about it because it's something new. I'm learning a lot. I'm learning my boxing. I'm learning Muay Thai. My wrestling is getting better. My Jiu-jitsu is getting better. So I'm just really excited. It's something that I've desired, some different will that I didn't have to compete Jiu-jitsu anymore. I was doing for 10 years as black belt, so I got so many titles. I broke the record. I went to the Guinness Book. So it was hard for me to wake up every day, do the same thing that I have done, without any motivation. Now for MMA, it's a new thing. Every day I wake up, I want to train, I want to always push myself. So I didn't have this drive anymore for Jiu-Jitsu. So for me, it's been awesome. So of course there is pressure, but that's not something that I fight under pressure my whole life.
Okay.
So, but of course it's gonna be different pressure, but then not something that is taking my sleep away.
Yes, absolutely. But you said you have been improving in Muay Thai, kickboxing, and Jiu-Jitsu as well. Now, speaking of Jiu-Jitsu, you recently posted that you were to compete at a tournament in September against Fabricio Verdum. You wrote that you got injured. Now, how exactly did that happen, and have you recovered from it?
Yeah, no, we were supposed to fight, but then Verdun got like different plans too, and I got this little injury that would take me. I'm fine now, but took me out 1 week, from training, and that's after like 1 week without training, like a couple weeks before the competition would take me take my focus away, and I'm just I decide, okay, if I'm not fighting 100%, I think I shouldn't be doing. I'm training already now, so I'm fine. So, but I rather to focus on my debut, because that's something that I really want to do it right now. But me and him, without Verdun, is a great friend of mine, and maybe we're gonna do this fight in the future, because like a lot of people want to see. But and he's like, he just got like a great victory too, and he's like in Brazil, like doing some business too. So wasn't like a really good time for us to fight. We could fight, but wouldn't be like the best fight, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So we don't want to go there to push each other for 10 minutes. We're gonna give like a great show. So that's why we decided to do it another time. But I'm fine. My injury was like something minor. I said like when I say the video, like when I record the video, I said it would be like 7 to 10 days out of training. So it's 7 days gone already, and I'm fine. My knee is 100%. So now I just focus on the debut.
Have you entertained the possibility that Fabricio, as a free agent, would sign with One Championship and he could be your debut match?
No way, man. He got like a leg experience. Like I said, the same thing I said about Brandon. I have a long way ahead. I have to learn first. I think it makes no sense for me fight like guys like him that are fighting. They are in the game for so long. So I think makes no sense. You know what I mean? To fight him right now.
But you would be open to facing him in a jiu-jitsu match should the opportunity arise.
Yeah, a jiu-jitsu match is different, but like. Well, we both are black belt. We both are world champions. We both like ADCC champions. But he is world champion MMA, and I'm not yet. So
it's a long way to go.
Yes, exactly. Well, Fabricio is one guy that always gives me like a lot of advices. He's my friend, so he's one guy that always helping me like what to do, how to train, and you know what I mean. Even him, I think he wouldn't like. He knows that the fight wouldn't happen in MMA right now.
He's your friend. Has he let slip anything about where he will be heading in free agency? Or has he been silent on that?
Not really, man. But I'm no doubt that Ali is getting the best for him, because we have the same manager. So who has the answer right now for you is Ali. I don't know, but for sure it's going to be something really good.
Going to be something really good, of course. And you keep on talking about your debut. When you look at the current roster of heavyweight fighters at One Championship, who would you pick as your first fight if you had the opportunity to?
I think that's not up to me. I think that's a decision between my team and my manager, and we didn't spoke about that yet, because I'm learning. I'm in different process right now, but when the time comes, they will help me, because even if I say a name, it's not up to me. You know what I mean? So I don't even like study my opponents, but let's see how it's gonna be there in a couple of months. But we don't have this answer yet.
Okay, we do not have an answer yet. And you said a couple of months. Now, when you mean a couple of months, would it mean that you will be in the process of choosing an opponent in the couple of months, or could we see you make your debut in a couple of months?
No, I mean, I'm focused on my debut. I guess, I don't know, but my debut, of course, is going to be, I want to be the beginning of next year, 2021. So, of course, I have to be ready for anyone. I mean, between who they're gonna choose. Of course, they're not gonna choose like a guy really, you know what I mean. So, but I'm training for the build right now, so I'm not really worried who I'm gonna fight. You know what I mean. I focus more on my training and get better every day, getting better, and that's my focus right now.
You're focusing on your training, and as someone who has spent almost a lifetime in grappling, how will you take the skills you have learned in the sport and take them to a new sport, considering that your opponent will know of your wrestling prowess and will not want to go anywhere near the ground with you?
Yeah, like of course, my best weapon is jiu-jitsu, no doubt about it, and all my opponents will be aware of that. So because of that, I have to be ready to have like good hands and my striking and my Muay Thai and everything. So I have to be ready for all the aspects. So if the fight goes to the ground, I have to be ready. If the fight keeps standing, so I'm trying to be ready for any situation.
Striking is going to be a major part of the game. You have worked on kickboxing and also, as you said, striking. Where would you rate your striking at present on a scale of 1 to 10, and how ready are you to get into a striking match?
Yeah, it's hard to say, but man, I am training a lot. Jason Perillo, it's being like sharpening my hands and helping me so much with my boxing, and it's been great. I'm training at Ruka headquarters with him almost every day. So, but I don't know, like it's hard to say for me. So but it's getting there.
And you have been at the American Kickboxing Academy with Daniel Cormier. Now, Daniel is someone who moved from wrestling and he made a big name for himself in the fighting world. How much has he guided you in the transition?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. I'm friends with these guys for a long time, DC, Ken Velasquez, Luke Rockhold, and since 2013, they are helping me so much. And of course, they were giving a lot of good advice. So I will spend like a couple weeks there with them right now for DC's last fight, and it was great. Man, for me, DC and Kane are the best heavyweights of all times. So learning from them and sharing the mat with them, it was like a great opportunity. So I'm really excited. So if they were helping me, if they are on my side, support me, it's a good thing for me for sure, definitely.
And how has Daniel been training for what will be his retirement fight this Saturday?
Man, I was with him and I was training and I saw how prepared he is. And for sure, this fight is going to be really different than the second one.
Okay.
And we're going to see like a different DC, and for sure, he's going to get the belt back.
Absolutely. He's going to get the belt back. And that's all we have from us. Now we move on to the fan questions, Marcus. One fan is asking, if you had to pick a moment from your storied jiu-jitsu career, which one would that be?
My comeback in 2016 after my 2015 injury.
Yes.
So it was something that I'm not supposed to fight because the doctor told me my knee wasn't ready, but I told her I would fight anyway. I fought the words 10 months after my injury, and the doctor told me I would just train hard. I would be able to start training hard in 12 months. So in 7 months, I started training, and I had like 2 months and a half of training, and I competed the worlds, and I won my weight division and the open weight. So if I have to choose, that was the remarkable moment of my career. Of course, every title has like a special weight, a special moment. But if I have to pick one right now, I would say my comeback was definitely one thing that changed my life.
Now we've spoken about a moment. Now, what about a favorite match of your jiu-jitsu career? Would you be able to pick one out of all the wins you've had?
Yeah, man. If I have to pick one, it would be my quarterfinals of 2012 against Rodolfo Vieira. My second fight against Rodolfo Vieira, that was the fight that define my career. If I would be like great or it would be like just one more. And after I beat Rodolfo, I knew I would be something else. And that was my favorite fight. And Rodolfo was the biggest rival of my career. So if I have to pick one, definitely is that fight.
That certainly would be the turning point of your career as well, wouldn't it, Marcus?
What?
That would be the turning point of your career as well, considering that, yeah.
Exactly. That was the division, you know what I mean? I was going to one side or to the other side, but that victory gave me the right direction.
Absolutely. Now, Marcus, a few years ago, you said that jiu-jitsu tournaments could do a lot to improve. Do you feel that the tournaments have done it? And is there scope for more improvement in the sport?
I mean, it's getting better, but it's not there yet because jiu-jitsu, it's a sport that's growing so much and we need to be treated better as athletes, you know what I mean? Because there is not much money involved in, and as professionals at any other sports, we need to be treated as professionals.
Absolutely.
It's getting there, but there is not much money involved. So I hope it change, but it's in the right path. Let's say like that, but it's not where it should be yet.
Okay.
So I think all competitors fighting high level should be able to make a living just as athletes. So now I'm need to do a lot of work besides competition. But it's a dream. Maybe it comes true, maybe not. But it's getting better, definitely. Since when I started competing in 2010 as black belt, from today, it changed a lot.
And another one of our fans says that you have been considering mixed martial arts and have been training with mixed martial arts legends for a long time. Who would you say is your favorite mixed martial artist and why?
Man, it's hard to say, but these guys that have been around for a long time, Cain Velasquez, DC, Luke, for sure, these guys, because I follow them so much from really close, they are my favorites. And if I have to pick another one too, would be BJ Penn. This guy for me is one of the reasons that I start watching MMA and Jiu-Jitsu for George St. Pierre, Khabib. So if I have to say this, I would say these guys too.
What would be the one of them all that you would pick above everyone else, or is that too tough to answer?
Yeah, that's really hard, man. I think I would be between these five guys that I just said. Six, right?
Six.
But let's say Cain and DC. I would say two.
Okay, noticeably, both of these guys are heavyweights where you will be competing and you will be drawing a lot of inspiration from them. Would that be correct?
Yeah, that's why, I'm just like you said, they are heavyweights, and that's something that I look forward to do, just similar what they did in their career. And that's why I like them so much, because they are heavyweights, they achieve what they want, and that's my goal, to do some similar of them.
Now, one of our fans has said that you wanted to be a soccer football player as a child. That didn't happen, and the jiu-jitsu fans will be thankful that did not happen, because you gave them so many great moments. But growing up in Brazil, around the time Brazil was dominating in the World Cups, which player did you idolize?
Yeah, man, any kid in Brazil, if you ask it, they always want to be a soccer player.
Of course.
Every kid, it's something, it's culture, part of the culture for the country.
Yes.
Man, if I have to pick one, it's hard too, but Ronaldo, Fenômeno, Ronaldinho, these guys are something else. Of course, Pelé.
Oh, yes.
So, you know what I mean? That's some of the guys that I always really like as a soccer player. Adriano, the Emperor. So let's say these guys.
Of course, fans will not blame you for not willing to single out a player because the team was so good at that time. It was like a dream team. Would you say that?
Yeah, yeah. For the Brazil team, yeah,
Yes.
it was amazing. Man. Was incredible to watch those guys playing together.
I share the sentiments with you, Marcus. And
Yeah.
finally, Jiu-Jitsu fans know the story of your nickname, Buchecha. Can you tell us, like, how did that come to be, and give us the entire story behind how Marcus Almeida got the name Buchecha?
Yeah, yeah. That was like Buchecha means chicks, you know,
Okay.
like chubby chicks.
Oh,
Because that's the meaning behind my nickname. Because when I
Okay.
was 12 years old, first time that I went to the gym, I
okay.
was kind of like not chubby, but I was like big chicks. I was like a kid, and somebody called me Buchecha, and my father, just to tease me, told them that I used to hate that. But like I didn't mind at all. Then in Brazil, when you say you don't like some nickname that they call you, it stick for you for life, and that's what happened with me. People don't even know my name in here; they just call me Buchecha. A lot of people think that's my last name, but it is like what it is, you know. But I like it because it's not something that all the fighters want to have, like animal names.
Okay.
And Buchecha is something that nobody never would guess who I am, and it gets fun.
That's the thing around the world, actually. A lot of the people, when you don't like a nickname, it gets stuck to you.
Yeah, no, for life. That was exactly what happened with me.
And Marcus, that's all we have on the show today. Would you like to say anything to the fans before we go off air?
Yeah, I just would like to say thank you guys very much, everyone, for the support. A lot of people like me. I got a lot of positive messages, a lot of positive feedback, a lot of support for my debut. People, like, I really appreciate that. I'm really bad to answer them all, but
Okay.
you know, I mean, but I read them all, of course. And I just would like to say thank you, everyone who's helping me in this new journey. Of course, my sponsors, Ruka, Shoyoro. I would like to say thank you very much, Juan and Shatri, for the opportunity to fight in their event. And that's it. And help me, people who are helping me to get prepared for sure. And let's do it. Really excited.
Thank you so much for being with us today, Marcus.
Thank
And
you. Thank
that's
you, guys.
all we have from the show today. We'll see you soon. Take care. Stay safe. Bye for now.
All right. Take care. Yeah. See each other really soon.